Hey coach, I need your help with something that's been on my mind. I've been seeing this person for a few months now, and while there's definitely chemistry between us, they seem hesitant to commit. First of all, there's a 3 month rule and a 3 or 4 date rule for men, right? 3 month rule for women and 3 or 4 date rule for men, right? For example, for men, if after 3 or 4 months the girl doesn't give up the poom poom, right? Most likely she's not gonna give it up, right? Unless she's religious, that's the only exception. Now, in general, if you want a relationship with someone, generally, if after 2 or 3 months, if they don't want a relationship, leave. It's never gonna work out. In fact, I've never seen. I mean, I've seen, but it's just rare to go from for someone to build a relationship after them not wanting it within the first 2 or 3 months, because first of all, the feelings you feel for them is at its peak after within the first 2 or 3 months. So that's when they're gonna make the irrational decision to be in a relationship with you. Okay, that was so mean. Oh my fucking god, he doesn't help. He doesn't empower. He hurts, right? So yeah, that's the first thing. 2 or 3 month rule. If you do that, it'll give you're gonna have an air of willingness to walk away. But actually, let me finish the story so that I can tell you the rest. They seem hesitant to commit. We have an amazing time together. Dinners, long walks, deep conversations. That makes me feel like we're on the same page. But then, just when I think that we're getting closer, they pull back and things stay in this frustrating limbo. Last weekend, we spent the entire day exploring the city, laughing and sharing stories. At one point, they looked at me with such intensity that I felt that something significant was going to happen. Instead, they changed the subject and suggested we grab some coffee. This hot and cold behavior is making me question what I might be doing wrong, and if there's something missing that would make my worth and prioritize our relationship. What can I do to show them that what can I do to show someone that I'm worth committing to? How can I get them to respect and value me enough to move forward without feeling like I'm pressuring them? First of all, okay, let's talk about this, boo-boo, okay? Let's talk about this. First of all, the 2 or 3 month rule. The 2 or 3 month rule is the most important rule. Why? Because it gives you an end. When you don't know when to leave, when you don't have a date, a time when to finish this attempt of a relationship, it tends to give you creepy and desperate vibes. When you're gonna be sending out signs that you're not willing to walk away. And you may not be holding a sign that says you're not willing to walk away, but your nonverbal cues is gonna give them the sensation that you're not willing to walk away. Like it's just the things that you don't notice about your nonverbal cues are gonna be the things that are gonna tell people how you actually feel inside. So knowing to leave, knowing this prepares your reactions, so that you won't react with neediness. That means that if they take a while to respond to you, you're not going to react with fear and terror, because in your mind you say, if this doesn't turn into a relationship after 2 or 3 months, I'm leaving this. So it kind of changes the way that you react to them in such a way that your reaction is going to come across as more confident, because you are willing to walk away. You gotta understand, the low moods that stay on the unconscious, which is, oh my god, I hope I never leave this person. Those types of mood, not the mood of I'm mad. That's like surface level. Those low moods, like when you're hanging out with friends, but you know you're highly in debt, right? So you're kind of smiling, but the mood of being in debt, or the mood that maybe you're about to get your ass beat when you get home because you're late, and your mom is gonna whoop your ass, right? That mood infects your nonverbal cues more than your current mood. So having that fear inside and suppressing it because everything seems good, it's gonna automatically change how you react to people, and it's gonna come across as more docile and less confident, and it's gonna make people more aggressive. So the next thing is that you want to be direct with this person. If it's been a few months of being with them, you have the permission to be direct. Because if why are you not being direct? What are you scared of? You see what I'm saying? This fear of losing this person causes you to not confront them, and you don't understand. Confrontation is what makes people like you. Having conflict is what makes people bond to you more. You're missing, and that's why I mean the willingness to walk away will cause you to be willing to confront them and be honest with them about what you guys want and what type of relationship you guys want with her. That will happen. That will come from that type of mentality. But when you really want to make this work, confrontation is something that you fear because it could actually ruin this. They could actually leave because you're confronting them. So be direct. It's okay to have a conversation after a month. Like, it's totally fine. The fact that you don't want to be direct about the elephant in the room makes the person realize that you have weaknesses that you're hiding through the facade of confidence. And it makes them more aggressive. It makes them test your weaknesses, and it creates an imbalanced power dynamic. So be direct, man. Tell them. Don't be in your head. Just say, look, man, like fucking Quintisha the cold person, right? Like, look, you're giving hot and cold behavior, man. What's going on here? What do you want? What are you looking for? That's not needy. That's actually confident. So be direct. And even though they may not want you, the fact that you're being direct makes them respect you more. Makes them respect you as a person, as opposed to them knowing you want something more, them knowing you're holding it down, you're not speaking about it, and they actually end up losing respect for you. Next thing is just never accept hot and cold behavior. What the hell? Like, what the hell is going on here? Call it out. They rely on your awkwardness, on your fear of confrontation. Call that shit out. Because if you don't, you're just looking weak. Right? Because sometimes, the next thing is that sometimes people are waiting to sense your strength. Right? So sometimes people act out, and that's the fourth one. Sometimes people act out to test your strength. Sometimes people act out to see how strong you really are. And the fact that you're not willing to call them out validates to them that maybe they should be a little bit more aggressive and take from you a little bit more and give in return less. So you got to do this. You have to confront. You have to talk. You have to tell people what the fuck you want. Because it's been a few months. If you would have done the 3-month rule, this would have never happened. So don't be afraid of confrontation. When you're not afraid of confrontation, you'll notice that people will have more respect for you. You may not even need to confront. It's just a willingness to confront. It changes the little things about you that creates a sense of intimidation that people just cannot point to. They're like, I don't know why this person just looks like you don't want to fuck with them. Right? And the last thing is that respect comes when you're willing to fight back. Respect comes when you have the willingness to use your sword and shield. It's not that you have to use it, but you have a willingness to use it. That willingness is a reflection of something deep in your character, something deep about your personality. And people can sense that. They sense when you're willing to die for something. They can sense when you truly believe in something, not because you say you believe in it, but because of how it changes the little muscles and the little reactions that you are not even aware of. You gotta understand the human animal pays and values more the unconscious signals you send. And the reason why is because you unconsciously pick up signals. And you know that you're picking it up because you pick it up because it creates a sensation about the person, right? And we tend to go more towards those people who tell us what to do or who they are through their non-verbal little signals a lot more than people who try to verbally tell us who they are. And without knowing it, this unwillingness to confront, unwillingness to speak, unwillingness to have confrontation and conflict is unconsciously communicating to people that you don't deserve respect. That's just how that is, you know. But when you're willing to do that, when you're consistently on Bronx mode 24/7, then people will sense that, you know what, this person has something behind his willingness to do this. In other words, you're willing to lose me. It means you have options, and it means that there are other people also respect you. So I want to be with you. Like, people think that way. If they don't respect you, that means other people don't respect you. Why am I gonna want to be with you? And why am I even giving you respect if you can't earn it? Like, respect is not a freaking charity, people. It's an economy that is capitalistic, that's self-interested, and it's something that you earn. You're not born with it. It's not church. One more thing is that if you're not happy, this is really difficult to do. If you're not happy, because the behavior that leads to disrespect, that leads to people to looking down on you, honestly, is the type of behavior that comes because you can't self-soothe. Like, you don't know how to feel good about yourself. And when you were a kid, like, when kids don't get comfort from their parents, they never learned how to self-soothe when they never got physical touch from their parents. And when they grow up, they grow up without learning how to do that, because we first learn how to self-soothe through our parents, and then through having that comfortable environment, we're able to self-soothe at a distance. Maybe they're not holding us, but maybe because we know they're there, we're able to feel a little bit better using our own strengths rather than just being completely dependent on them. And so we learn how to self-soothe. But some kids just didn't have that. And because of that, they learn to overly rely on their parents, not to have any distance from their parents, because they just don't know how to do it on their own, or their parents never gave them the opportunity, because they use their kids as their own self-soothing mechanism. As a parent, sometimes you got to put your kid in a fucking corner, and after petting them, oh, my fucking gotta talk to them like they're animals. Put them in a corner, and just let be there, but let them know that you're there, but let them deal with their emotions sometimes. I'm not a parent, but that's what we learn in child development. And so that distance helps kids. And so some people never had that. And so because of that, they never learned how to deal with their emotions on their own. They only learned how to deal with their emotions using other people. They were never weaned off of it. And this habit becomes a lifelong habit. And when people sense that you can't self-soothe, they take advantage of that. Consciously or unconsciously, they take advantage of that. Maybe I'm projecting, people, whatever. But they just take advantage of that, because the way you come across as someone that is always happy, right? Sometimes, as someone who doesn't fight back, as someone who doesn't get offended easily. So you can say fuck you, they're like, ah, you're so funny. But you're like, dude, I said fuck you. Like, what the fuck? Right? And so they're more tolerant to disrespect. Because they rather be around you than not be around you and not be disrespected. They'd rather be around you and be disrespected. And so as good of a person as they are, you can't respect that, because you're like, yo, that's pathetic. Like, I mean, come on. Like, you get what I'm saying? And so a lot of people have developed their personality around that trait. And deep down, these people feel resentful for not getting respect by people, but they don't know that it's the desire. You're using people as a vessel of self-esteem, and people resent that. They may not say, oh my God, I cannot believe you're using me as a vessel of self-esteem. I don't appreciate that, says Tyrone. No. They're like, yo, this person doesn't give me space. This person has no boundaries. This person is just like fucking a Teletubby that with a creepy smile. Like, people just cannot respect that, So that's the problem, and that's the dilemma, because this is what I'm telling you is uncomfortable to some people. Uncomfortable to some people who have lived their life this. So remember, know when to leave, because it prepares your nonverbal cues and your reaction. The 2 or 3 month rule. If they don't want a relationship at the 2 or 3 months, you leave. And also if they don't give up the pum pum after 2, 3 or 4 dates, trust me, you're friend zone, right? Be direct. Don't be afraid of confrontation. Don't be afraid of conflict. Conflict is what makes them like you more. Never accept hot and cold behavior. If they're acting hot and cold, you either mirror them if it's a first month. But after the first month, when you have the comfort and the permission to confront them, because sometimes first date you're not gonna call them out on the bullshit, right? But like, if they're acting hot and cold and it's like a month already, it's best to just tell them, what the hell do you want? Let's not waste our time. That will cut the bullshit. Honesty is something that manipulators, and direct honesty and direct confrontation is something that manipulators and people who are passive aggression don't want. They rely on you being afraid of looking needy. You get what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck anymore, right? If they're giving you that bullshit, you confront them. Sometimes people are just waiting to sense your strength. So your reaction to their bullshit and your aggressive, self-righteous reaction to their bullshit and willing to have that conversation is what they were just waiting for the whole time. That's the only thing they were waiting for. And so people test you to see whether or not you're strong. The reason why they test you is because maybe you're giving signs of weakness and they want to see whether or not you're really weak. That's why people test you. Now, some rare occasions, people test you because you're strong, and so they really want to see if you're strong, right? But usually the testing comes because you're giving signs of weakness. So it's better to not give signs of weaknesses, and I have a bunch of videos to that talk about how to not do that. And the last one is that they respect when you're willing to fight back, right? Just the willingness to fight back, just having that sense of having your hand on your sword and shield in your hand, literally strengthens your nonverbal cues. It gives you a seriousness to your character. It's like being surrounded by people without a gun, but now being surrounded and you're the one that has a gun, but they don't know it. You're gonna give off that old man anime type of vibe. That old man who's really strong. Oh, that Karate Kid, the Chinese guy that can fight, right? He's just zen. That zened out vibe, you're gonna have it when you have that energy, man. And people will respect that. Sometimes it's just there's a lower likelihood they're gonna test you when they sense these 6 things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, where I teach you all of the strategies to improve your dating life and all of the courses that I have all in one place. And you can get it at a highly discounted rate. So that means you can purchase all of my basic courses without the bundles, usually at $600. You can purchase it now at $399, people, not $400. $399 for psychological purposes. Yeah, that's right. Oh, my fucking God, he's showing us a scam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Father Alex does that. So that means you could get emotional mastery, the psychological game of attraction, the feminine woman, natural chemistry, charisma blueprint, and nice girl at a discounted rate. But then, if you want to get the master's degree of the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, you could get the premium version, where usually all of the courses cost $1,200. Now you can purchase them all at $799 or 4 payments of $200. You guys can now also do like a payment plan. Feminine woman, emotional mastery, the whole shebang with all of the bonuses at one lower price, people. And with that, honestly, this is the type of thing that I know that if you guys get, it'll fix your dating life in ways you guys cannot imagine. Now, my worry is that it is a lot of content. Like it is, and I'm not a fan of giving people a lot of content because I don't want informational junkies. But this is the best way to get it all in one price. Now, look, mind you, if you purchase the bundle, I'm just gonna be honest, there's no refunds. Purchasing the whole bundles. If you guys think you guys are not gonna like it, I will prefer if you guys buy one course to see if you like it, and if you don't like that course, you could get your money back and don't purchase the bundle. Right? But if you like that course, you guys can send me an email and say, hey, can I upgrade to the bundle? Pay the difference, and there you guys will get it. But it's just that, look, man, you guys know my content. If you like one course, you like it all, right? So that's the only caveat. But I know damn well, if you purchase it, your dating life will never be the same. Okay? Now, for those who purchase the courses but want to add to the bundle, you guys can message me and maybe we could come up with a price so that you guys can get it while being able to not have to pay all the crazy prices. Okay, so just click on the description down below. There you'll see the ability to purchase the wifey basic package, which is the one that you see here for $399 without the bundles and without the bonuses. But if you guys want to purchase it with the bonuses, which is a lot of content, and I'm afraid because it's a lot of content, you guys can purchase it right here with either 4 payments of $200 or one-time payment of $799, right? And yeah, and by the way, I made this design, Father Alex is being inclusive here and stuff like that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys can support the channel by purchasing those courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.